Millionaire in a restaurant laughs at the cleaning lady, and she just said this word and everyone was in shock. A great amount of wealthy people are downright arrogant. While money is amazing to have, it should not cause you to look down on anyone. Obviously, money comes with great education, and these are both fundamental to a person. Being wealthy can make you selfish because you have been pampered for a long time. You become blind to the needs and struggles of others. Some of them are pompous and disrespectful to the lower class of society. Money is great when you're looking to buy expensive physical things, but it can't be used to buy character and personality. Nobody can tell you what to use your money for as long as you're not hurting anyone. You can have all the luxury you want and dine at upscale restaurants, but when you belittle someone because of your money, you are no more than a bad person. Greetings and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I bring you the story of a rich man who tried to disrespect a worker but was dealt with by the manager. Please subscribe to the channel. In order not to miss our uploads, press the alarm bell and turn on YouTube notifications on your phone. Thank you. Varaya's mother, Varvara, had been greatly ill for a while now, and she'd been seeing to her care. This had dampened Varaya's high spirits. Her mother's medicine was very expensive to purchase, and she was already running low on them. Varvara works as a nanny, but her income is not enough to buy her mother's medicine and cater for their basic needs. Her father had long since passed away. She and her mother now lived alone. Varaya's mother did not have a pension and so was only survived on what Varvara made. When her mother was healthy, she used to work and provide for Varaya's needs. However, when she fell ill, she stopped working and always regrets their current situation. Varvara decided to take on a second job. Her work at the nursery ended at 2 in the afternoon, and so she had enough time for a second job. On one of her usual rounds for scouting for a job, Varvara noticed a job ad for a dishwasher that was being advertised at an expensive restaurant. Varvara decided to take a chance and walked into the restaurant. She met with a receptionist called Christina. She asked her if she could meet with the supervisor of the place. The receptionist directed her to the supervisor named Olga. Varvara told Olga that she would love to work here and was available from 2 p.m. till late at night. When Olga saw that Varvara possessed a degree from the university, she was truly amazed. She wondered why such a pretty, educated woman would want to work as a dishwasher in a restaurant, no matter how upscale it was. She knew there was no other reason than the obvious need for money. Olga was not sure if she should hire Varvara, but she became convinced when Varvara told her about her mother's condition and how the money would ease their burden. Varvara was very happy when Olga told her to start the next day. She was truly grateful and left for home in high spirits. Immediately when she got home, she gave her mother the great news and told her not to worry about her medication anymore. Her mother also wept for joy and hugged her only child and told her she was very proud of her. Varvara was simply great at her work. She was always on time and ready to do her best. Olga was in awe of Varvara and glad she'd given her the chance. Everyone loved and respected Varvara so much. It was a normal day and Varvara was doing dishes in the kitchen. All of a sudden, she heard some commotion going on outside. A man was shouting at a waitress and berating her for something she'd done. Since Varvara was curious, she stepped outside. The waitress in question was standing by a man in a very expensive and formal clothes and shoes. He was too busy scolding and insulting her to see the scene that he was making. The man was doing this because he was angry that his food had been delayed in coming and he had not received all the dishes that he'd ordered. Even though the waitress had apologised profusely and promised to rectify her mistake, the man was not having it. Everyone looked at the man as he continued to embarrass the waitress. They were all afraid to step in and ask him to calm down. Varvara, on the other hand, was very upset and wanted to put him in his place. She walked over to him and accused him of being bossy and arrogant. Vasilin, the owner of the restaurant, stepped in to calm the millionaire Arcadia down. He told him not to pay attention to Varvara. However, he couldn't get what Varvara had told him out of his head. After everything had been resolved, Varvara went back to the kitchen to complete her work. Arcadia could not believe a dishwasher had the guts to talk to him like that. Even the owner of the restaurant wouldn't do that because he was scared of him. The man went into the kitchen and to tell Varvara about his status and that he would pay the owner a huge sum of money to get rid of her. When he said that, he was expecting to see Varvara terrified and remorseful, but she did not even acknowledge it. She just kept on working like she hadn't even heard him saying anything. She did not even glance over at him. The owner was afraid of what the millionaire might do to him or his restaurant, and so he told Varaya to stop working immediately. He also let her know that today would be her last day working in his restaurant. Surprisingly, the millionaire walked up to the owner and told him to calm down. Varaya finally spoke up. She told the man that even though he was wealthy, he would not be able to get away with his attitude. There were some people who would not care about his wealth, and thus he would be unable to buy them even if they are poor. In response, Arcadia removed some money from his pocket and threw it at Varaya. He told her that she was wrong and he could buy anyone he wanted. He also told her to remove all her clothes and he would give her more money. What Varaya did next is truly astonishing. She bent down and picked up all the money. She then told him that she was truly in need of money, but she would rather they did this in private. She asked him to write down her home address so that he could come by later. That was the last thing the millionaire was expecting. He probably thought that she would insult him. He took out a piece of paper and gave it to Varaya to write it down. After she was done, she turned back smiling and completed her work. Both men stood watching her in amazement. They turned and went back into the restaurant. Once seated, Arcadia asked the owner to bring him some food to take along because he was running late. Meanwhile, Varaya had completed her work and was about to go home. She reached the reception when Christina called her. The receptionist told her that she had heard from one of Arcadia's neighbours that Arcadia lived alone and disliked women. She was telling her not to sleep with Arcadia no matter what. Varaya was not really interested in what Christina was saying. She also said that Arcadia's first wife died from a mysterious illness. His son also died a year later, and he was involved in an accident. Arcadia then went on to marry his second wife, Ms. Medina. However, the marriage lasted only 1 year. He divorced her when he realised that she was only out for the money and not because she cared for him. Arcadia has since then promised not to marry again, and he dislikes all women. After a couple of days, the man not showing up at her house, Varaya thought he might not come at all. One day, after returning from work in the restaurant, she was at home in the kitchen cooking food for her and her mother when she heard a knock at the door. She stopped what she was doing and went to open the door. It was Arcadia on the side of the door. At first, she was surprised with a smile and invited him into her home. Everything in the house was off-putting for him. He offered to pay for a hotel for her and him to spend the night in, but she did not accept. Varaya told him that the reason she had invited him to her house was not because she's after his money, but is only because her mother is sick. Even though she needed money, she would not accept his. After learning this, he went into the room and saw for himself her sick mother lying on the bed. The woman was obviously having some difficulties in breathing. She turned and called him by name and asked him to take a seat because she'd not seen him in such a long time. The man walked up, kissed her on the cheek and called her Aunt Varvara. Varaya asked the mother if she knew the man. She said his father and hers were friends and that the man used to visit with his father. She also said that he liked all the sweets that she had made for him. Arcadia asked the mother if Varaya was the girl that he used to see when he visited 15 years ago. Aunt Varvara said yes, she was. He apologised to the mother and asked if he could take care of her. He had always wished to meet her again so he could return all those favours. With each time that passed, Arcadia fell in love with Varaya. The pair married and both mother and daughter now live in a big house. Varaya no longer works and is happily in love with him. Let us know what you think of this story. Please like and share this video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching and we'll see you all next time.